Hey everybody and happy Friday. Today for the demo, I want to walk through what I think will be a really practical example for a lot of folks. This is an example of how to build a landing page with AI. And I think this is really relevant for anybody in marketing and definitely anybody who works in go-to-market systems or go-to-market ops. So today we're going to go from just a brand and persona to a live landing page. We're going to do that very quickly in under 30 minutes. So one of the reasons I think that this matters, and one of the things I thought this would be interesting to jump into this week, is that I've started hearing about tech companies asking candidates to actually do this live during the interview process. And these aren't just candidates applying for go-to-market systems or go-to-market ops roles. These are candidates for applying for marketing roles in tech companies, product marketing, other types of marketing roles, being folks being asked to do this kind of on the fly during the interview process, build this out in a tool like Lovable. So I think this is helpful for a lot of folks in their day-to-day jobs, but also if you're looking for your next job and you want it to be AI focused, anything in tech, this is becoming a lot more common in terms of the expectation. So in this demo, I'm going to show us how to go from brand guidelines, the audience that we're targeting, generating the copy, building that in Lovable, and then publishing, and then some of the important next steps. And in terms of this demo, basically the objective is we want to build a landing page for Owl and Olive AI. That's my new company, which is creating an AI-powered marketing assistant that helps small business owners and independent workers with their growth and marketing. And in this case, we're focused on a specific persona, an ICP, which is vacation property owners. So people who may own multiple vacation homes and be renting those out through Airbnb and just want better ways to grow direct bookings. And so this is going to demonstrate a complete workflow. It's going to reflect the right brand voice, brand guidelines. It's going to show how it's tailored for a specific audience, and it's ready to measure, and it's ready to experiment with. Overview of the workflow. Going to talk through defining the brand guidelines and providing those, defining the ideal customer profile and persona. Hopefully for most of you, these are things that you already have available in your company. You would just make them available to the LLM when you're creating copy. We're going to walk through like how to structure the prompt for ChatGPT and generate the copy, and then provide that to Lovable, and then show how to build and style that out very quickly. And then we'll talk about next steps, how we would test this, how we could iterate, how we would make sure we're thinking through things like safety and security as well. So the first step here, brand guidelines. This is something they already have for Owl and Olive AI. I thought it's really nice and important to have this from the very beginning so that everything is consistent. So it covers all the good stuff like the voice and the tone, the primary colors, typography, layout. All that's included in a PDF document that I'm going to provide to ChatGPT. And then I also have an ideal customer profile. So in this case, like I mentioned, the segment we're targeting, it's independent property owners, small entrepreneurs that have multiple vacation properties that they're renting out. It covers, some of their pain points, their desired outcomes, and then I even created an example persona. So in this case, we have a real persona of Alex. He's an independent vacation rental owner. It talks a little bit about his background, how many properties he owns, what he's looking for, his goal, which is to grow direct bookings with minimal effort. And then now we'll jump into this step of generating the copy. And to do that, I'm going to use ChatGPT. That's typically my go-to when I'm generating copy drafts. And if I jump into ChatGPT, over here you can see I've already structured a prompt. And again, if you were doing this live in an interview process, it'd be tough to be this specific, but you could talk through some of the main things that you would include in your prompt. So in this case, I think it's helpful to give GPT um, an indication of what role you're in. So you're a senior marketing copywriter and user experience strategist, helping to create a landing page. I tell it what 3 reference documents I'm going to provide. In this case, I'm going to give it my brand guidelines document and my ideal customer profile, which includes the persona. I'm going to tell it the goal that I have. I'm going to give it the output format that I want. So I want the page structure overview, and I want the full copy draft of each of these sections, which will be ready to copy and paste into Lovable. I want it to recommend metadata and optimization, things like SEO keywords, meta descriptions, that kind of thing. I'm going to give it some notes around style and quality just to reinforce what are in my brand guidelines. And then I'm asking it to give me output that I can copy and paste directly into Lovable section by section. So here we'll run this. So ChatGPT's come back with basically everything we asked it for. It's got a really nice overview of the page structure here. And it's using everything that's in line with the brand guidelines that I gave it. And it's created the full copy draft, so it's ready to copy and paste into Lovable. And if I scroll down, there's a lot of great content here. It's given me the metadata and optimization, and then a few different ideas for A/B tests that we could include as a next step. So here I have copy and pasted everything here from the content. And one note, like if I was really doing this and not doing it quickly in a demo, I would take a lot more time to refine this copy. And so I think every LLM, no matter how good they are, it's going to get you something that's maybe 80, 90% there, but you need to spend time reviewing, revising, iterating. You might use other LLMs to tweak it. You might do your own kind of manual editing and tweaking, but you want to make sure that it's definitely consistent with your brand voice, with your brand. It's something you feel really good about in terms of the quality. And so highly recommend that iterative process and taking it from the 90% draft to 100% fully polished. So if I jump into Lovable, we will create a landing page. Alan Olive AI using this copy. So I pasted in all the copy from ChatGPT. And now Lovable is going to do its thing. If you haven't used Lovable before, it's a really great tool, very easy to use. You basically see the interaction with the prompt and back and forth on the left, and then it's going to build out a preview for you in real time of like what it's drafting. So it makes it really easy to visualize what's there and then go back and forth. That's going to run for a minute. It's going to give us a nice preview we can check out. Okay, so here is the first draft of what Lovable's come back with. You can see here's the heroes section. We've got dual CTAs here, get early access, see how it works. We have all the sections with all the copy we gave. And at first glance, this looks spot on with the brand guidelines. Great. And so, like a few other things we can do with Lovable. Obviously, we don't have our logo yet, but I can add So I just asked it to add our logo. And I have lots of stock photography as well. So if I don't like the recommended AI generated photograph from Lovable, I can change that out really easily. All right, so I added my logo and it's put that in the hero section. I think I put it down here in the footer as well. It's great. And again, this is just the first draft of what Lovable's come up with because we spent so much time really thinking through the copy and the brand guidelines, the persona, all that good stuff. It's made it really powerful when we come into Lovable. I think on the very first draft and preview, it's done a pretty good job. But obviously, I could spend a lot more time in Lovable updating this, reviewing it, tweaking it until I feel really good about um, how how it's ready to go. All right, so let me jump back in here. We'll talk about some of the next steps. Um, Once we're comfortable with that in Lovable, we could publish that as a live page. Um, Other steps I'm not going to walk through, but just really important thinking about like how we would tag the landing page to capture all the right information, what UTM parameters we would want to add. We could sync this landing page with our CRM or our customer data platform like Action IQ, um, so that we're tracking and capturing better data there, and we can define our success metrics. And then you notice that ChatGPT provided a couple of ideas in terms of experiments to run. The good news here is that this also makes it really easy to clone the landing page and create a few different variants. And then we could set up the experiment. So we could use tools like Optimizely, we could use Mutiny, we could split the traffic 50-50 and then run for a number of weeks until we feel confident about which one is working better for us. Um, and we could just continue to iterate. So this is helping us not only just generate the first version of this landing page very quickly, but then test and iterate from there. And then finally, some things to just keep in mind, and I think this is really important. A lot of companies still have approval, so unfortunately, you can't just create your AI-generated landing page and publish it directly. It's not as easy as that, unless maybe you're in a startup. Most companies are going to have an approval workflow. Hopefully, that's something that's been automated. You already have tools in place to get that approval. You could do a quick demo and record it in Loom to make that approval easier. Um, but obviously, thinking about legal and privacy review, a lot of companies have brand reviews. And you want to make sure you've deployed and documented everything properly before you push it out there. And then I mentioned this earlier, I'll just reiterate this, security and data use. You really want to make sure that if you're using this for work, that you're not providing proprietary and confidential company information into a public LLM. And so you want to use something like OpenAI Enterprise, Anthropic for Work, or Glean. Those are going to be safe tools where you can add your company documents like your brand guidelines and your ideal customer profile, um, and and go from there. And so, again, the reminder here is like we can move really fast with the help of AI, but we have to make sure we keep brand trust intact, we keep compliance intact, all that good stuff. So key takeaways, just to wrap up here. AI, this is a great example. It helps you think faster and deeper and not just build faster, build quicker. The whole process, it's going to help you from the early ideation, the copywriting, all the way through building and then creating your experiments. Lots of different tools you could use. I'm using ChatGPT and Lovable just because I've been using those tools a lot. And I like getting together with ChatGPT for ideation and for copy generation iterating back and forth. And I love Lovable for just how easy it is to build this stuff and publish and refine it. Um, and again, if you're going for a new role in a tech company, this may be an interview question that you would get, and you may be asked not just to describe how you would do it, but jump into a tool like Lovable and on the fly show how you would do it. So great skill to learn just for your current work and probably your future roles as well. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this and hope you have a wonderful weekend.